everyone, Tori here with another December Daily layout. Today I'm working on day 19 in my 2018 and 2019 album. Um, I have all the photos here and I'm going to start putting them into my album in just a sec. On the 19th last year, I had a Christmas party with some of the girls in my Bible study, and I wanted to document that. I have the photos and I'm just kind of trying to figure out where to put them. For some reason on this day, I just was really struggling to find how I wanted to set up my photos. I don't know, that's not really normally like me. Usually I'm put it here, put it there, and I'm good to go, but it doesn't always work that way. Does that make sense? So, while I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, I grabbed the puffy sticker number 19 for the day. Those are from December Daily and a Kelly Perky collab probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I've been using this every day in my album from last year. I stuck the 18 on one of the buttons on that Santa Claus Project Life card. And that card I had already sewn in when I made my junk journal, and I believe it came from probably the same kit, maybe the Kelly Perky one from a couple of years ago. I don't know, but it came from a December Daily kit. I stuck the photo of me and my friends on the left there. And then I'm just kind of trying to decide what I want to do. I knew that I wanted to stamp the date. And I at first thought I would just stamp it right on the paper, but then I thought it might be nice to stamp it on a label or something. So I went to look at my Feed Your Crafts layouts, and Feed Your Crafts die cuts, and I found one that said Together that would fit the stamp perfectly. And while I was looking through, I also found one that said Merry, which I thought I would put above the Santa Claus Project Life card there. So I stamped the date December 19th, 2018 onto that little die cut, and I'm going to adhere that to the top of the photo of my friends and I. We like to have a Bible study Christmas party every year, and at some point in the night we try to take a photo of us all together. So that consists of us all sitting on my couch while I try to set up my cell phone or camera. If I use my DSLR and do the self timer. Anyways, it was lots of fun, and we grabbed this fun photo of us all making funny faces, and I stuck that down there, and then I added the Mary on top of the other card on the right hand side. I just felt like that needed a little something extra. I knew that I wanted to do my journaling on those red diagonal lines, but I just felt like it needed a little something. Then I'm looking back at my other photos, again trying to decide where I want to stick them. Originally I thought I would include that photo of my friend Andrea with her crazy socks on the red card that said Blessed is the season which the whole world in a conspiracy of love. Oh, which engages. Blessed is the season which engages the whole world in a conspiracy of love, which is a Hamilton Wright maybe quote. But I ended up sticking the photo of her on the left on that black and white. And then the photo of our potluck I stuck on the back of that red card. And then I figured I would just do my journaling around that. So while I'm working on that, why don't I read my journaling to you? It just says, one of my favorite Christmas traditions is our annual Christmas party with the Bible study girls. This year we did a Christmas sweaters and socks exchange, so we exchanged socks. We do a sock exchange every year, and it's so much fun. I mean, you can always do with another pair of fun socks. We also did a potluck too, and we watched a movie as we hung out together. I love these friends. As we spend together, I am just so thankful for them all. They are such great friends. And then I also grabbed a Project Life card that I just had sitting on my desk, actually, that said Bring on the Good Stuff. I don't even know why that was sitting on my desk, but I just thought it was kind of sweet. So I stuck it onto that handmade paper that was stitched into my book. And then on the photo with our potluck, it just says, so many yummy treats and sweets and friends as we wear our cozy socks. So I don't know how this became a tradition, but probably 4 years ago, we decided that every Christmas we would do fancy frocks and funky socks, which is basically where we all dress up in a fancy frock or dress. And then we do a gift exchange where we exchange socks. I don't know why, but we do that. And then this year, for some reason, we decided to do Christmas sweaters instead of dresses. So we did that. I also adhered some other die cuts, just a couple of ornaments on the bottom of that photo with me and my friends. And then I had this really cute reindeer die cut that's like an acetate from crepe paper that I wanted to use so badly, but I just haven't had a place. And there was all this extra red space on that card that's stitched in there, so I decided to staple him on there. I felt like it needed just a little bit something more, so I added some hand-drawn lines around the Bring on the Good Stuff, and I also add some hand-drawn lines around the larger photo of me and my friends, just to kind of create some cohesion between these multiple pages. One of the things I've been doing in my December dailies is just kind of like letting them happen. And if a photo only takes up one page, if it takes up multiple pages for the day, I don't really mind because there are so many pages in these junk journals. And I'm just enjoying the process of like scrapbooking and journaling in them and letting it happen the way it happens. Next, I'm going to add my journaling, and I did add some journaling onto that red and white diagonal stripe, and I kind of just wrote diagonally across. And then I also will add some journaling on the white piece of card where I have the potluck photos written. I think this is another one of the things that I really love about this junk journal is I feel like it's like encouraging me to do more journaling because there's all this like space, and I kind of love the look of my handwriting on all the different pages and throughout the journal. Like, it just makes me so happy. So that is the end of my 2018 album, and I really love the way that these pages turned out. I just think that they look so cute like this. And next I'm going to be working on my 2019, so this year's Christmas page. And I have a few photos to scrapbook about today, or for the 19th. And it's just a couple of photos of the dog Yukon that I have been dog sitting, and a photo of me on my computer. And this page is really simple. There were a couple of, there was a card that had been stitched into the middle of the signature of like a world map, and it just didn't fit with the story that I wanted to tell on this day, so I just pulled it out. I kind of ripped it in half and ripped it out. And that's kind of a handy trick if you are doing a junk journal and you have something in there that you just don't want, just take it out. I mean, it works well if you take it out like on both sides so that you don't have a loose page, but you can take it out one side too as long as you make sure it's really adhered in there. I had a Project Life card that I had pulled out to do some journaling on, and it just says Holiday Memories Recorded. And I decided I was going to stick that in and then stick the photos around it. But it was a little too big for the space, so I ended up just trimming around the edges a little bit, like taking off probably about a 1/4 inch around each side, and then I'm going to do my journaling there. And my journaling just says, today was one of those days where I just spent the day at home watching Netflix, scrapbooking, and answering emails. Yukon and I just hanging out. And so I wrote my journaling out on that card, and then I'll adhere that and the other photos around it. It's funny, I feel like there's multiple days in this scrapbook where I talk about like just hanging out at home and watching Netflix with the dog, but that was kind of my Christmas this year. Like, this was such a weird Christmas for me. It was my first time in Kenya. I had only been here for a month. I didn't know very many people. And like, honestly, it was kind of lonely and really hard to be away from family and friends. And it was just, there were some really good points, but then there were also some like just really like not so great points, like hanging out by myself for days on end. So, but I feel like that's part of the story, so I want to include it. And I know next year will be different, so I like that my December dailies, I feel like, give me a glimpse at different parts of my life, and I can look back at them and see a progression of like time. So my 2019 album, I believe, is my 5th December daily, and I just love this project so much. It's like my favorite project all year long. So I stuck down that Project Life card. I also stuck down the photos, and then I wanted somewhere to add the date. So that's what I'll work on after I adhere these photos in there. Um, and I end up just going through some die cuts to look for something that I can adhere the date on. In this 2019 album, I've been using the Mega Roller Date stamp every day, and so I needed somewhere that I could stamp on because the journal is so chunky now. There's really not any way to like stamp into the journal, so instead I stamp on die cuts and then stick them in. So, anyways, I found a die cut. I think that came from a Feature Crafts kit that just said wonderful, and I'm going to stamp the date on there. I actually had another one, a red one, that I stamped on first before realizing that I stamped the wrong date on it. So the nice thing about stamping on a die cut is I stamped on it and then I realized that I had stamped the wrong date. So all I needed to do was pull it off, grab another one, stamp it again, and adhere it in. So it's okay. I stamped the 18th, but it was really the 19th, and it takes me a minute or two to realize that. But that's okay. Look, I'm looking at it right now and being like, should I write 2020, the year on it, or 2019? And then I'm like, hold on, is this even the right date? So, but I do adhere it down before I realize that I've put the wrong date. Have you ever done that? Or am I the only person that like very frequently stamps the wrong date and has to go back and fix it? Like the other day I posted a video where I stamped the wrong date and somebody left me a message like, did you realize you stamped the wrong date? Yeah, I did. After I posted the video, I realized, hey, I stamped the wrong date on there. So I went back and fixed it later. That is like the story of my life. Then I felt like I wanted to add just a teeny tiny bit of embellishment, so I had this candy cane just sitting on my desk and I adhered that down. And then I'm going to go to my stash and see if I can find a puffy sticker to just add there, just to add something a little bit more. And then that will be it for my page. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Come back tomorrow for another one. I've been posting almost every day the last few days, trying to get these videos out, and I am. So see you soon. Come back tomorrow for another one. Bye!